Charla with Freezer Meals 101, and today I'm making little individual English muffin pizzas. They are super easy to make, but better than that, they're great for kids' lunches for school, after school snacks, or just lunches at home. And kids think they're super cute, which means they'll eat them. So the first thing I did is I opened up my English muffins. You could have your kids help you with this part because, you know, it's kind of a pain to get them open, takes a bit of time, and it's easy for them to do. So I'm making 30 today, so I've just laid out 15 English muffins halves, and so it made 30. And I'm using just a jar of pizza sauce today to save time. You can use your own homemade pizza sauce, or if you don't have pizza sauce, you can use pasta sauce. So I'm gonna drop a little bit of sauce on each one. Again, it's a lot easier if you do one thing at a time when you're making large batches of things. So instead of dropping a little bit and spreading it around, I'm dropping all the pizza sauce, and then I'll go ahead and spread it. So I've got a bit too much on that one. Donate it to this one. So just spread that around. This doesn't have to be perfect. For these, we're doing cheese first because that way the cheese has a better chance of staying on when they're in the freezer. So for these 30 English muffin pizzas, it used about 3/4 of a bag. That's 320 grams. So just a regular sized pizza mozzarella shredded bag there. The nice thing about these is that your kids can help you make them, which is a really fun project to do with them, but it also allows them to put the toppings that they want on the pizzas, gets them involved in the cooking, which helps them to actually eat it later. When you involve your kids in the cooking, it makes them less picky and it helps them to want to eat what you've made. So this is a really fun one to do with your kids. I'm adding some pizza pepperoni to about half of them. All of my kids like pepperoni, so this will be a popular topping. Because they're such small pizzas, I just need to add one slice to each. I'm going to also be adding some pineapple to some. Now I know pineapple is one of those controversial things on pizza. You either love it or you think it's so weird, but ham and pineapple, which I know this isn't ham, but ham and pineapple is a super common pizza topping here in Canada. So our kids, half of them love it, half of them don't, but the ones who love it don't want to have pizza without it. So I'm just straining my can of pineapple tidbits into a cup. The kids love to be able to drink the pineapple juice, and I don't like anything going to waste. So got my cup there. Actually, speaking of not wanting things to go to waste, this cup is an old jam jar. I love this. It's called Bon Maman, and it's a great brand of jam. The jam tastes really great, but one of the reasons I buy it is because then we can use the jam jars as cups later. With so many of our kids being teens, we know that eventually they're going to move out. They're going to need things for their first place. So I've got that in the back of my mind, and I keep these jam jars as cups, and then I have extra, but when they go to move out, I can send those with them and not worry about them breaking or not being well taken care of. So that's just another tip for using every bit of everything. So adding pineapple to some of these, Now, if you're looking for more freezer meal recipes or meal prep ideas, freezer meal tutorials, you can subscribe to follow me here on YouTube. I share videos almost every day, and each of them has some great tips that will save you time and make you spend less of your life in the kitchen. Black olives are something that my daughter, who loves the pineapple, doesn't love black olives. I have another daughter who loves black olives. So I am going to be conscious of putting black olives on the ones that don't have the pineapple. Again, if you have your kids making these with you, they can be making their choices about the toppings that they want. You can use anything that you would have on pizza. You can use spinach, bacon, ham, onions, peppers, whatever it is you like on your pizza, mushrooms. Any pizza toppings can go on these. Now, if you have younger kids and you want to make this more fun for their school lunches, you can make a smiley face with your toppings, or you can put the toppings in the shape of a heart, or shape them into the first letter of their first name. And then I have some chopped green pepper, so I'll be adding those here and there. Some of the pineapple ones, green pepper and pineapple is actually a really good combination. So some of the pineapple ones will be getting the green pepper, and some of the black olive ones, because I know that my daughters will eat that, and it's, you know, an extra veggie, and that's always good when you can get an extra veggie in for your kids. And then some I'll be putting just the green pepper. I have one daughter who is exceptionally picky, and so I'm going to leave a few of these as just cheese pizzas. The next step in making your mini pizzas for the freezer is to set these trays into the freezer for them to freeze. I have a flash freeze setting on my freezer, so I'm able to do that quite quickly. If you don't have that, then it's going to be sitting in your freezer for longer, you might actually want to cover these with some plastic wrap before you put them in. But mine won't be in there for very long, so I'm not going to bother doing that. And then when I take them out, I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. Before I do that, I'm just going to lightly press the toppings down to help them stay together. Because I don't want, when I eventually transfer them into bags, I don't want the toppings coming off. And that's one of the reasons that I put the cheese down first, as I didn't want the cheese coming off. Okay, these are off to the freezer. So now our English muffin pizzas are out of the freezer, and they are frozen and ready to be transferred into a bag. Thanks so much for joining me today on Freezer Meals 101. Be sure to subscribe if you want more easy kitchen recipes and easy freezer meals.